All right, let's get this stream on the way. And let's get this road to Dan on the way. Yeah, might take me a while to set up, but I'm going to do that. And I want to get, oh geez, what's going on? I want to get the pop-up chat. Okay, not the pop-up chat can't be that big, obviously. I don't know what's wrong with this thing right now. Okay, that should be fine. That's a really interesting way to start. Definitely not the recommended way to start. It's very interesting how he started this game. It's a very aggressive start. It is a very, very aggressive start. You know, I could just connect and see what he does. I think usually D17 is the move. But you do have to realize that he doesn't get nearly as much. I'll have to find some better music for this. This is very bad for him. He actually didn't get anything from this exchange. The thickness isn't really that much. I get all the corner space. And plus, like, he still has to come up here. Otherwise, like, this group might actually be under threat. So this is a very, very bad exchange for him. Some of these Josekis, it's okay. It's fine in teaching games to actually do these things because it's not rated and everything. That's if you care about your rating. But, you know, like, it is a good chance to practice your reading skills. I think he might have just lost his entire advantage right here in terms of the handicap. Okay, that's okay. Actually, this would probably be like a really good move for me. Because it would actually really threaten this group. So I should actually take these two. These two are big because it threatens this move out here. I could do this move out here first, have him disconnect. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. Should I? I don't know if that's a good move. Actually, I'm just going to do this. He actually has to answer this. This is very big. If he doesn't, I can come out this way, or I can Hane here, both of which would be really bad for him. This particular stone I don't really care about too much right now. I'll deal with it when it comes. So he actually does have to, I should have just taken this overall, but I mean, okay, that's fine. I got an answer. It's basically what I was fishing for. That's not the best answer because I can still come out this way. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, wait, I didn't actually do the announcement, did I? Whoops. Oh, well, I'm a little late, but that's fine. Whoops-a-daisies. Let's just get this announcement center and get this going. All right, we don't need that anymore. Okay, he didn't go the other way. A lot of people go the other way, but there is a Joseki for that. He's building this Moyo. The problem with this moyo is there's a big, big blank spot right there. I actually think the best move might have been like here. Possibly like here as well, but I just did this to be safer. So one of the things about SDK play is like you don't want to defeat yourself. Like this is an example of defeating yourself. Like not reaching the like not really knowing or reading how it turns out and just playing like this. On a double approach, there are standard ways to respond, and there's standard ways to respond because your opponent has an extra stone there. So because your opponent has an extra stone there, white's always going to gain an advantage on the double approach because he spent an extra stone. He should. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. If any of you know any better like YouTube music or like free songs from the YouTube audio library that I can play during the stream, please let me know. There's like tens of thousands of songs, and I really need to get one. I said this moyo's not complete. There's a lot of things wrong with this moyo. Okay, the two options here we have are coming down this way, which I'm going to do. And obviously also honeying this corner, which I did not do. I also have the pop-up chat over here, so if you want to talk to me in game, that's also fine as well. I did this, so I did this pop-up chat, so it's fine. I don't know if I should answer here. Probably. Yeah, I'm going to actually do the. Yeah, there we go. That's actually what I wanted. I'm just going to do this now. If he sacrifices those, I will gladly take them. Those are not that sacrificable. If he. Actually, no, I can't do that. Never mind. I do find like I don't know if this guy does, but I do find that people that mainly play correspondence are probably a stone or two weaker when they play live, just because of the time constraint. Because like correspondence is mainly used for like study, long-term study. And whereas this is more like tournament play. Okay, that's fine. He's like pretty, he's kind of giving those up. No, he's not giving those up per se, but I probably shouldn't have done that. But he's not really giving those up. But he's definitely not making it. He's not going to make it easy for those. I can tell you that. So there's like all sorts of invasions that I can do and stuff. All right. It's fine. Those three I'm not particularly afraid of. Although I probably should be. He can't really cover this up all that much, is the thing. I always have this option. And that's like big problems for him. If I come down here, he also has to respond. This is actually just making it worse for him. Actually, no, that was a bad move, wasn't it? No, that's fine, actually. But the thing is, this stone is not what I'm going for. It might look like it, but the stone is actually not what I'm going for. Okay, we have this option. Which would rather leave him in a rather sticky bind. I don't really know. I play randoms. I play random people. So unlike Colossus or Derwin or some of the others, I tend to play random people. And since I kind of play randoms, I just basically put up a challenge, and whoever accepts gets the game. Now, the influence out here, like he is getting some influence out here, so the purpose of this curl was actually to be able to get this dig. That was actually the main purpose of that curl move, to get the puncture here. It wasn't actually to get this one stone. That stone's useless. The influence isn't that great out here because this group isn't really. You can try to threaten this group, but it's kind of hard to threaten. And this is out here, so the Moyo doesn't quite work. Let me check. I think this guy actually plays a lot of correspondence, which is might play a lot of correspondence. So nope, never actually. Oh, he's provisional. No history. That's okay. So for this, I'm just going to connect and kill this at the bottom. I'm okay with this. This is a lot of territory already. If... Okay, that doesn't make any sense because now I'm just going to cut. Actually, no, he can... I messed up. Yeah, I did. Oh, no, I didn't actually. Did I? No, I didn't. Fine. I'm fine. I just thought I did. So this is generally not something you want to do. You're extending me into your influence as well. That I don't think I'm going to respond. I think I'm just going to play here because I probably should have extended one more. But either way, this Moyo is getting a little bit worrying. I'm not actually worried about this. It's probably a good play. I'm just going to do this. The Moyo is getting a little bit worrying because it is quite big here. But he has a lot of cutting points he actually needs to worry about. And now this group is kind of weak. I probably shouldn't even answer that, but whatever. There's still a bunch of cuts here. I can just... No, actually, I can't, can I? That's fine. I'm not going to answer that. I have to disrupt this Moyo somehow. Remember, this group is not completely out of the woods yet, but he has a very strong group of territory down here. He has a very strong, like, potentially large territory down there. That is not the right way to do things. You also have to remember that I can always cut underneath. I don't have to cut a top. I can always cut like down there. If he does that, I'm going to take this, and this becomes threatened again. If he gives me those two, that's a lot of profit that he's getting. Actually, you know, I could go down there and take those two, but then if he extends up, this Moyo's locked in, so I have to take this. See, this is just bad. I'm going to do this. This makes me a lot stronger, and he still hasn't solidified those two underneath. Which he does now. But now it becomes slightly problematic for him. I probably can't attack these that efficiently. But no matter. Because stuff like this has actually become okay. If nothing else, I can at least take his corner. I don't actually think that was a good idea. He's not actually alive down there. And I can Hane this move. This is a pretty good territorial approach. Okay, so that's not good because you're kind of like giving up these stones. And you can't do that. Oh, I guess he can fight the Ko here. It's pretty much the only option he has. It's probably not a good thing for me either. I should have just gone like down here or something. Does he have any big Ko threats? I actually don't know if he even has any big Ko threats. Do I have any big Ko threats? You know what? I don't really either. Oh, that's the wrong move. You should have definitely played the Ko. Because I can just extend down here now. And I don't, there's no way he only has 4 liberties, so there's no way he can win the liberties battle with me. One Dan, I'm probably like 2 or 3. Like, I'm probably only 2 or 3, but the thing is, like, getting to my level isn't really that hard if you kind of understand how this works, connecting. But this is actually a handicap 2 game. This is a handicap 2 game. Could you have connected there, or would you have forced? I would have had to play the Ko. That's. I would have definitely had to he would have forced me to play the Ko. This is not a Ko. This is just him dying. You might think this is a Ko, but it's not. If he plays this, I can just play G19. So yeah, so he resigned there. So let's go back and review this game. Because he was ahead up until a while ago. I didn't play this one brilliantly. So handicap 2, so I passed once. Simple approach. Okay. Do this. So I think you probably learned this from Katago. This is actually an okay move. It's not one I would actually advise Q players to do. This is only good. This is actually only good because you have 2 extra stones down here because it's handicap 2. A lot. The AI will do this, but you have to know how to make use of this move later. And it takes a lot of reading ahead to make use of this move. This does build some influence, but it also makes white stronger on the bottom. So it's a trade-off. So I double approach. So that's fine. He does that. So when I do this, you should just do this. I do this, you do this. And that's how this actually works out. Okay, that's supposed to be the Joseki. Because I can't extend down here, obviously. I do have this move later, but there's no way I'm going to do that right now. It's just a waste of a move right now. So that's how you should actually play this. Doing this and letting me do that, is bad. You definitely need to connect this. Because taking this is Sente. So, and taking this just makes me a little stronger. Takes care of all the cuts. So yeah, you can't even block now because, yeah, this is just not good, right? So the thing is, like, with this exchange, look at what white gets and look at what black gets. Black didn't even consolidate this. This group can't. If I actually Hane and he does this, this is weak. You might actually just have another weak group here. You know, you might actually just have another weak group there. Whereas, like, before, you were supposed to get part of this corner. So white got the entire corner, has potential on the side. Yes, you did build a little bit of influence over here, but it's unfinished. So I mean, this is the biggest move right now. But I would even consider doing like this, um, just because it finishes the shape. And if you let white come out, it could be really, really tricky for you up here. So this is okay. It's not a bad move. I think I should have just taken this and then forced him to go here. Like the better move for white is to come here. Um, Maybe do this because then there's a cutting point right there. Or maybe when he cuts, just extend up. Those are the two possibilities for white. I probably don't want to start a fight right now. So for me, I would have just probably, if it was me, I would have probably just taken this and threatened this out here. So after he does that, this is already really a lot of profit in the corner. Yes, you do have a lot of influence here, but it's not worth the profit in the corner. And then I would have done this. So I kind of try to do that in reverse. I probably messed that up. I did this. He does this. So I should have done this immediately. So I actually went ahead and took this. So I guess he should have just attacked the stone. He can't kill it, though, is the thing. He can't kill the stone. And this leaves like this really, really tricky move here later, which I think he did actually respond to, right? So that's just a weird, that is a little bit of a weird response. I don't know. I probably would have done this myself if I wanted to respond, just to, just to fix things. Yes, white does have the double Hane here later on, but I mean, you still have influence over on this side. I guess this was okay. Then I did this because that's the regular Joseki. I should have done this. The thing is, like, I keep forgetting which move this is supposed to be. This is the best move. I don't like this, but realistically, this is perfectly fine for white. So he does this. I jump out. That's just kind of a foundation move. I mean, there's still later on. There's still invasion points in here that white could possibly do. So I don't know if that's the best protecting move. So I jump down to threaten this. He does this. I'm gonna crawl. He's gonna crawl. This is actually a good move as well because I have to connect. I crawl. He does that. So the thing is, like, heading me off is fine because you're alive anyways. So you want to make this group stronger as well. So he crawls. He does that. So I'm actually not going to respond because there's no point in me to respond. The best move is this because this does threaten moves like this later on. Here, black would not respond. And I guess this would be the biggest move. Me, I would have probably done this if I was black. So I decide to come out. That's just a strange move. I mean, this is always going to be like the biggest move, but anyways, I decided to come out. He does that. That's not a good move. I should probably just like, this is not a bad move because I can threaten this and it makes these three a little bit stronger. And then just kind of like come out as he runs, I guess. So I do this. That's a weird move. I don't know how to respond to that because I don't see that move very often. I guess coming out and threatening these three stones is probably the best response. He has to take the corner to prevent pressure, and then I can just attack it this way, which is a lot better than what I did. So that's why this sequence is pretty good. But I just went ahead and did this move without the setup, which is not as good. So he pops out here. I'm gonna come out. This is a bad move. Without this move, I wouldn't have been able to do this later. So making my wall solid on the outside actually made him much, much weaker later on. So he does that. Yeah, there's always this. Maybe even this. No, that doesn't work. That also doesn't work. But this, that doesn't work. Actually, I actually prefer this. But either way, I did the corner move because I'm not afraid of this. If he does this, I could always do this later. I did the corner move because I know as long this isn't under threat if I have this move. If I do the C2 extension, I'm going to be alive anyways. And even if he blocks the C2, I actually have a lot more eye space. D7 push. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is this. You're right. There is this. You know, it's weird because like in this kind of move, I would have done this first. I would have actually done this first before setting up before doing this. But I mean, that's just me with wrong sequencing. I'm pretty sure white wins that one. So that's just me with wrong sequencing. So I went ahead and did this first. I figured he would probably block. And then realistically, like this is fine because I was just aiming for this all along anyways. So I could have just easily, I could have much easier just done this without doing this first. And it is, this move is not very, this move generally isn't, it's just not that good. The trade between this and this is definitely a loss for white. White doesn't get anything on the inside, and black actually gets influence on the outside. So that's bad. But essentially, like it's like it's kind of like if I did this. Let's just say you go somewhere else, and then I traded this for this. Like that's kind of like what I played. Of course, this trade for this is a bad move for white. So I would have never traded for that like just regularly. So that's kind of like what it's similar to what I did, which obviously like is a little less great than this. So that's fine. Obviously, I should have come out. There's still a little bit of Aji down here, and eventually he connects anyways. So I just ended up connecting, which is a loss of points. I don't understand this blocking down here, because you definitely like this is a really weak cutting point, and there's points down here, but you have to realize that your group is very weak if I cut. So you do have to realize that like when your group is actually weak. So you don't realize that like when you do this and I cut, then no, you have to run this group, and this group doesn't have a lot of liberties. This group does not have a lot of liberties. I mean, that's how that turns out. I think like, so this is a really complex trade. I'm not going to explain it because this is actually not something I would do. I don't even think like high Dans would actually do this, because what it's actually doing is sacrificing this group for this in here. And he considers a good trade. Like I probably just would have done this. Actually, no, I wouldn't have, because this is really bad. So yeah, he could have actually gone on the bottom. I would have had to do this. I would just go ahead and do this if I was probably something like that. I mean, you can do this. Actually, no, you can't, because that doesn't work. So you can't actually do that. And now you have this point, so you can't actually do that. So this is probably like what you should actually do. So yeah, like this Hane here is very painful. So white would actually have to retreat here. So I come up, he comes up, I come up. He comes up, I come up again. I don't want him to get the Hane. This move was always down here. Does this again. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Now, I should have extended one more time. And then like forced here after that. So I basically forced here. This is not a good move right now. You really only do this. So this particular move you only do if you're trying to build influence up here. There is absolutely no reason he would actually be trying to build influence up there. So that move is kind of pointless. I mean, that move just makes me stronger. Yes, here, and then I should have done this, obviously, but just going to take it. But you know, the thing is, like, me taking this cleans this. Now the Hane doesn't work here. That's why I took that move. Because if I did this, actually, he can probably still do this, right? No, I can connect now, so it's fine. Hang on. I can just take this down here. But then he has this. No, then this, then there's an Atari there. So I guess that doesn't work. But I guess my reading skills weren't that good yet. So that's why I decided, that's actually why I decided just to take this. As soon as I free up this liberty, like the Hane here no longer works. I shouldn't have, like I said during the game, I shouldn't have answered that. I should have just cut. I also shouldn't have answered this because if he takes this, I can just go back. So when you do this, like this is no longer necessary because this group really isn't under threat. Because there's several ways to live here and I really can't kill you. So this is a good move because I do have to kind of connect. And it helps build your Moyo. Or you can do this, like this seals this Moyo in. This seals the Moyo in. I obviously still have an invasion. I can invade in one of many places, like, here. I can invade in one of many places, but the thing is you don't have to kill this stone. All you have to do is get enough territory to have more territory than me. And even if I live something like this, right? Let's say I live in the corner here, like you're still going to win because you have a lot more points than I do here. And let's say I go the other way. I'll just take the corner first, and then you can get the upper territory still. You still have enough more points here than I have here and here. So you got to think about go that way. How do I get more points than the other person rather than like how do I kill all the stones? So this kind of shape, you can do this, but you can do this first and then do this. Because that just gives you a big Moyo, and it's very hard for white to deal with right now. So essentially, he does that. Like I said, that's not a great move. I also made the wrong move coming here, but like you can tell, like between a Dan player and a Q player, the sense of direction is different. Whereas like I'm not really sure what he's trying to accomplish with this move, except maybe make this shape a little stronger. Whereas like I can recognize right away that I need to reduce this Moyo somehow. So that's why I did this. I chose the wrong move, obviously, but like my sense of direction, like that's why my sense of direction is better than his. He should have just blocked. I can't go down. Here for Moyo. The thing is, like, if he did this, I might have just done this first. Because I would take this over this any day. And if you, I probably would have done this first. Because he can't actually live down here. So he would have to connect. I would connect this, and then he would... This is just a very tricky situation now if I do this. I don't know if this would work. It is tricky. It's a really tricky situation down here. But yeah, like the correct move's definitely to block here. Even if you end up doing something like this, you're generally okay. Because now you can just get this free territory down here on the corner and the side. And once you have the free territory down there, you probably are going to get more territory than white actually has. It doesn't matter how much you win by and go. You just have to win. Winning by 1 or winning by 100, you still win. It doesn't actually matter all that much. So as long as you have more territory than me, then you're fine. And so the thing is, like, when I do this, like, you don't try to force and build all this territory because then you risk losing these stones. You basically just save your stones. Let me destroy some of this territory as long as you have more territory. At this point, I'm going to have to start making desperate invasions. And even if let's say, even if I succeed at making let's just say I succeed at making this desperate invasion, you still might have, if you do this, you still might get more territory than me, even if this invasion succeeds. So like, as a Q player, like that's the way you need to that's the way your thinking needs to start to change if you want to get to the Dan level. Like, just look at the whole macro game as a whole, and don't focus on just that one fight. Just focus on, you have to like get the broad concept of like, how do I actually get more points than my opponent, while like making sure that none of my groups are in danger, rather than like, hey, let's kill all the opponent's stones, because that generally doesn't work all that well. So that's obviously a bad move. I should have gone this way and just done this, because he has to kind of like connect this, and I can just like come in, or here I can even push and do that, because he doesn't have too many. He does not have that many liberties here, because he can't actually block me here. And then I believe I just kill him straight out by doing that. So It's a bit of a problem for him. I should have just done it that way. But I got greedy. I went down there. Yeah, I didn't actually see this. See, like, with this, I probably would have just killed this. But this does actually seal me in, unfortunately. And then I would have to, even with this, like, I would still be a little behind because you have too much territory here. At this point, I would probably do something like this and then try to get into this territory and see how much of it you can actually get. But this still favors black because despite having this territory and this territory for black is still very big. So like the view of the game that I want like Q players to adopt is more of a macro game. Like especially when you're like 5 or 4 Q, you need to adopt more of a macro game view. Once you adopt the macro game view, I think your play, like at first it'll be kind of bumpy, but once you get used to it, I think your play will improve significantly. This move is actually okay because he can't read as well as the AI. So I'm gonna take. Where did he go? Here. Okay. So this is, I mean, like this doesn't seal anything in. I can still cut, and I can still go down there, right? Or I could even just do this. Or like, even if I do something like this and come out, you still really can't, block me and get this moyo here. And plus, you still owe a move down here, or cutting this off is really big. So there's still problems with this. Come out. This makes me a little stronger. I don't really like that move. And then I'm gonna do this first. Yeah, if I extend out, there's actual problems here. Like you can't really block me down here. So you didn't like black just didn't seal this in well. So he connects, and then I don't like I said, I don't actually know. I know like for me, like my sense is like I know there's an invasion point down here somewhere, and I should play it, but I don't exactly know the exact one for this shape. Like that's gonna be the difference between like high dans and low and mid dans. Like they know like which invasion points are a little better, whereas me like I kind of know, but I'm kind of guessing as well. Like this point would have been better than my invasion point here, and this one I wouldn't have guessed at this point. So I invade here. He comes up. He does that. This is also, yeah, I forgot. That's also better. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do believe he has to. I don't think he can do that. I think that probably kills him because he can't do that. He's dead then, right? So I can do that, and if he does that, he just kind of dies. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I do believe this captures him. Yeah, this captures. He can live down here. That's fine. I don't really care if he lives down there. But this is going to be enough for white to actually win. So yes, I did the wrong move there too. He comes out here. I'm obviously going to cut. He does this. This is the wrong move. He should have just done this immediately. Tari, that, and then at this point, I would probably take this back. If he does something like this, I'm going to go here. If he does this, if he does that, well, he has to, I guess he can't do that. Take this back. Take this back. If he takes this back, I might just do this. And then we're going to play this ko for real. And the stakes are really, really high here because the thing is, like, if he plays this ko, he doesn't really have a ko that I would actually answer. Like, if he does this, I'm just not going to answer. I'm just going to take these. Because this is way bigger. And it doesn't matter if he gets these points down here. White's still winning at this point. So at that point, it's really not good for him. He should have done this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be very, very hard to kill white, and black still needs to be careful. I guess he doesn't. He still has that. I don't think this is alive. I don't think this is alive, though. Yeah, it's not. I mean, 7, 8, 7. What if I do this? Yeah, it's alive, actually. But I can come out here. Yeah, these are... it's hard to say if white can actually live down here or not. So the other thing about this is actually Sente. This is actually Sente, so white can actually make an eye down here at... no, white can't actually. He can, because if you do this, he can come down here. So white can actually make an eye down there at any time. And this isn't clean either, because I can still do this. And there's going to be... sorry, you don't do that. There's going to be problems here. There's going to be a lot of problems here all the time. That... I might just give that up, actually. If you do this, then I'm pretty sure he's alive. Plus, you can't connect here anyway, so you can't connect here. So white would actually be alive in there, and black wouldn't have that much territory, but it would be still an interesting game. I don't know if I'm playing these variations outright, but either way, he does that. I do this. He does that. I'm going to go up here. Yeah, if I just go down here, I'm pretty sure he's just dead. So I do this. That's a wrong move from me. He does that. So I think I would just take this first. And then do that. And then at this point, this point, I don't think this works. No, this doesn't work. Then at this point, maybe like, see, I don't really know what white would do here. Like, just try to kill white. I don't think white can actually live in there, so. Or white could possibly at this point do this. I think black is probably dead here. Yeah, black doesn't have enough liberties. So yeah, black would actually be dead here. So that's really interesting, actually. I didn't really go to consider that he just straight up doesn't have enough liberties. But he can do this, though. Yeah, he can do this. If you block, now he has more liberties, so... Yeah, this doesn't... I guess this doesn't work for white, because then he has this. There's a lot of variations in here, so... White does actually have to connect that way. White has to connect this way, but he should have taken this first. I would have had to push in here, and this is how we fight the ko. That's how we actually fight the ko. Because if he does this first, then he just loses, I believe. Actually, you can just probably do this. Yeah, black loses by 1. So basically like you would. This is how that code started. But if since he actually just connected here, I think he just messed up on his counting. I'm gonna go down here. Now he's just basically dead, and that's gonna end the game because he's way too. He's lost way too much. But that's not the point of this game. That's not the teaching plan of this game. Like the point of this particular game is actually like to get like a kind of like changing your mindset on how to think more at a Dan level rather than at a Q level, because it's really about getting more points than your like. How do I make it so I get more points than my opponent? Not how do I kill all his stones. And like if you actually think like that, these moves you might not see, but you would definitely see like moves like this, and you would definitely see like how like if you actually look at the board in a macro way, you could definitely see how like moves like this are simply worth more than moves like this. And the thing is, like, if you actually start seeing a lot of the times that moves like this are worth more than a move like this at a macro level, then you will improve significantly from where you are right now. Because like just being able to like, there's like a 4-point difference according to Katago. There's like a 4-point, well, according to like the AI, there's a 4-point difference between this move and this move, and there's a lot of those differences per game. There's at least 4 or 5 of those that, if you just like think macroly, you'll think at a macro level, you'll be able to get. And basically like, 4 or 5 points, that's like 16, 20 points. So you'll improve by like at least 1 or 2 stones at that point. And then after that, maybe just like some reading. And realistically, like for players in the Q level, the later on knock-on effects of this over this are going to be way greater than 4 points. Because this, as long as this group is alive, more or less, like it doesn't really matter. So if white does something like this, you can just go down here and you're pretty much alive. If white takes this, then you can just do this anyways. I probably wouldn't do that, but like you probably can do that anyways, or you can even just, stay alive, like, improve your eye space by something like that. I don't know what actually I would do here. I might just connect, because I don't think white can actually kill this. Suppose that he can try something like this, but this is like really sketchy, because once you have this move in place, you can kind of just do this. So I don't really think like white can actually kill this. So since white can't actually kill this, like, like this move just isn't worth very much, whereas this move solidifies your entire Morio. So if you look at the game from a macro angle, like those are the kind of the improvements you will be able to make, and they're not even fighting improvements. It's basically, like I said, like in the last time, like it's basically the strategy of like making big moves and waiting for your opponent to defeat himself. Like, because at the SDK level or DDK level, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. If you just make solid moves and sit there waiting to pounce on your opponent's mistakes, you will win the majority of games. Even at the Dan level, like once you get up to 1-2 Dan, it still works just fine. Like I've won the last 19 out of my 20 games just by that. The one game I lost was like to a provisional like high Dan player that was basically winning his way up. He was just quite a bit better than me. But the thing is, like, even at like the lower Dan level, I can win like 90-95% of my games against 1 and 2 Qs, and even 1 Dans, and 2 Dans even, because that's like the range of people I've been beating in the last 20 games. Like anywhere between 2 Dan and 2 Q. I basically won every single game by a decent margin, because I basically just played safer. I just played like safe, solid moves, nothing too exciting. Got rid of all those like fancy clamps that I wasn't really sure whether would work or not. Basically got rid of all those things, and basically just played like strong territorial moves and waited for them to screw up. And every single game, they've screwed up at least once or twice. So, if you just do that, you will have a really good chance of winning at the SDK and DDK level. Take a more macro view and a territorial view of the game. Like, figure out what you actually need to do to win instead of trying to kill everything. Because if you overreach, you will lose. So that's today's lesson. I'm going to play another game. And it's going to be the same 4 to 14 Q. The challenge is down here on OGS. If you wish to play, then you can accept. I'll wait for like, 10, 15 minutes to see if anyone accepts. I do try to do 2 games. I do actually try to do 2 games per day. Please hit the like if you're watching on YouTube. That would really help me a lot. So I'm basically just trying to help other players get to like 1 Dan, more or less. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to do the exact same thing. We're going to do... I'm going to pass once for handicap 2. I don't speak Spanish, so that's going to be a little bit hard. He has to play first, though. He has to play first. So I'm going to pass once for handicap 2. So this is always the way I do handicap. And that's because like it allows the other person to actually take whichever handicap they want, rather than just go with the traditional. It makes it a little bit harder for me because it lets people go with what they're used to and what setup they actually want. Some people will just want to secure 1 corner, and that's perfectly fine. Most people will want to take 2 corners, which is actually the right way. So that particular move is generally, if I do the low invasion, that move is okay. But if I do the high invasion, that's generally not the move that you should do. I probably should have played P15. I've never actually seen that. I've actually never seen that response to my move. So I find that a little bit odd. I actually don't know about that. What if I invade? See, I don't think you can do that because, um, ooh. Well, this is not good for him. Extend downward. Ugh, that's just ugly. That is just ugly. This stone, well, both those stones are pretty valuable actually. So I'm not going to say this one's. No. This stone's definitely more valuable than this one, and I'm going to definitely do this because I can just capture. Black is very poor. He definitely messed up in that play. So that particular way is that's not the way you would respond to like that particular approach. That response only works if I approach 1 stone lower. I'm pretty sure at this point white actually might be ahead. This gives me a base down here. Pretty important. I probably should have done that first actually. That's fine. But you have to remember, like, this corner is not secure. I can still approach from this side, or I can just approach this corner, but this is actually bigger right now. Yeah, that's not really, I mean, it's not a poor move, but it's not really something you want to do. I am actually pretty happy to do that. But can I kill him in here is the other thing. So if I can kill him in here, that's a whole different story altogether. That's probably a risky move. I don't really recommend you doing. I really don't recommend people do this. I just want to see what happens. Ugh. I don't know. That's a good move. I really don't. So you can always just do this first. Block. Yeah, that's not good. It's really not good. So as a reminder, I mean, he's still screwed. You actually have to curl. So like I'm basically forcing him into a lot of really bad shapes. I'm forcing him into a lot of really, really bad shapes. I don't think he can live down there. Oh wait, I messed up. I messed up. Ah, that was bad. Actually, I think he's still dead. I can fight the Ko. I don't know. Oh, snap. I can do this, but then he can just take that way, and it's not really worth it to me. But you know what? I'm actually going to do this for a specific reason. Because I want two free moves on this side. That's the specific reason. So there's nothing down here anymore. He didn't deserve the Ko. I just messed up. I'm well aware that I messed up. Okay, so that doesn't really work right now because you didn't bother to secure the outside. Since you didn't actually secure the outside, that doesn't actually work. Oh, wait. Dang it. Oh, man, I severely screwed that up. Yep. Severely messed that up. Does this even work anymore for me? He has to do that. Yeah, I severely screwed that up. Yeah, I should have just came out this way. But yeah, I severely screwed that up. It is Tombstone. And I don't think I can get out of this one. Ouch. Yeah, I severely screwed that up. I wasn't really paying attention, unfortunately. Because he can just, if he just does that and I extend this way, then I'm in a lot of trouble, to say the least. Because he has 4 liberties and I don't have 4 liberties. Ouch. So yeah, I probably lost this game because of that. I can live this small group in here, but I totally screw that up. Okay, so if he extends outward, that's very bad. All right, let's just do this. We're going to just try to move on from that. I forgot, like, that's my bad. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just come out this way. I think it would have been fine if I actually came out that way. Definitely should have just came out that way. That's not a good move. I think I'm still alive here. But I want to connect here because then I have Aji in here later. It's exactly what I wanted him to do. There's not that much in there, so I'm going to just pounce down here. That's not a good move. He enclosed himself in. This might look a little bit scary to you guys, but it's okay for me. It's not worth it. He can actually live in here. That's a pretty big loss for him. I wanted to do that because it solidifies my outer group as well. I've already got like pretty much all these points in here. I don't think that works, does it? Does it? I don't know. Connect. to go this way. Probably played this wrong. Yeah, he has to do that. Do this. I probably played that wrong, by the ways. I should have, yeah, it's fine. Can't actually do that, so I have to do this. That doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to invade this. This is actually a pretty hard invasion for him to actually deal with. Okay, I don't think what he's doing is actually going to work right now because I don't think he's actually, I don't know if he's actually winning. He should be winning by a little bit, I guess, but not that much. Is he alive here? I don't think he is. Oh, this is dangerous, though. This is very dangerous. It's incredibly dangerous for him. Oh, no, he's alive. He's alive. That is my bad. He's alive. Yeah. That was my bad. He's alive. It's actually Sente for him, too. I totally screwed this up. Still, like, got rid of all his territory, so it's not that bad. Yeah, this is actually a problem now. Huh. Well. Oh, I messed that up pretty badly. Does that. Probably the only thing I can do right now. Yeah, I messed that up pretty badly. Yeah, I keep screwing this up now. I totally screwed that up. Okay, that's not the right move. Why would you do that? Because now, like, you're putting kind of yourself in danger at this point. I mean, I understand, but now you just, like, he just completely lost his chance to destroy this territory. That doesn't make any sense. Because he could have destroyed that territory. I'm pretty sure he's still winning at this point, but he just kind of like lost his chance to completely destroy the territory. That's actually not all that big. Actually, yeah, it is. It's a couple of points in there. I'm pretty sure he's still winning because he has like too many points down here. We're going to do this first because I do not... No, I'm going to do this. Never mind. It's definitely going to... I'm definitely doing that first, though. I don't think so. He can't actually kill me. So we're not going to do that. This is actually pretty big. I'm actually going to take this first. So this is a couple of points in there. I don't actually know how many other points there are in here. I think this is bigger. Oh, this corner might actually be bigger. My bad. That corner is probably bigger. Does this work? Yeah, it does. Doesn't really matter. It's not that big, but it'll work. That's actually fairly large. I don't think I gained that much from that. I might have not gained anything from that, actually. I think I still lost. He probably just has too many points. This was a big screw up here by me. Like, I definitely should not have screwed that up. I think there was one way I could get out of that. I don't know if that's actually worth anything. That's also the wrong move, because that gives me points down here. You can't do that anyway, so... I don't think there's anything over there. I'm gonna take a shot. don't think this works. Remember, you don't actually have to do much. You just have to make sure you don't die here. So you can actually just like connect here or do something like this and you're perfectly fine. It's pretty close. Game's pretty close. It's a pretty good recovery from that, though, I will have to say. I don't see anything. Maybe I'm missing something? Because that's not an Atari up here. So I'm going to take this. I don't have to connect that yet. But there's really, I don't think there's anything else. I can't actually do that. So let's just do this. Go pair. It's probably a 7 to 10 point game. I'm also not really sure who's winning because I haven't actually counted. I'm going to guess him probably because he has a lot of points down here. There's no points there. I'm going to say him probably because he has just a lot of points down there that I can't really deal with. I don't think there's any more points anywhere. I'll pass. I think he won because I definitely screwed up down there. I might have to fix one thing here because that's tricky. I'm just going to do that. In the end, like these points in here might have been better if I fixed that instead of like just gotten in the points up here. Wait, oh. Oh, I actually won by about 10. Never mind. So even without the Komi, I'm a little bit ahead. So that was like that was a crazy recovery from like this that was actually a pretty crazy recovery from this corner. I didn't count. I should have counted at the end, but I didn't have enough time to count. So that was a crazy recovery from like because at this point, I'm sure it was like black plus 30. I guess it wasn't black. I guess it wasn't black plus 30. I was never that far. It was black plus 10. It was basically black plus 10 at this point. So I had to get back 20 points. So let's actually review this game. There were a lot of mistakes made on both sides. My big foo bar came in the corner, of course. But this is actually traditional start. So here, just go with this one. You're not losing anything on this Joseki. There's a lot of territory there. So the thing is, like, if I play here, you play here, because then like the space down isn't really that big. I'm not going to go there. So this response is actually typical for this lower approach. The higher approach, you just go under. This is not the correct response for the higher approach. I think I messed up too. I should have done this and then done this. So I think I just got kind of flabbergasted, but I definitely should have done this first. It's fine. I mean, that would have been fine too for black. That's just kind of weird. I'm gonna invade right away just to see what he does. I think you could have easily just gone over top, honestly. And this invasion was probably not a good one for me anyways. Like I think you should have just easily gone over top. I don't know if this really work. I mean, I guess it wouldn't. But the thing is, like, you have like these kind of moves. Uh, uh, yeah, I guess it doesn't work for black, but I would have still gone over top. Um, so I think you could have just gone this way, maybe. I think you might actually win this one. I'm not 100% sure. It's tough to say. I'm not. Yeah, that's not good. White can Atari. Yeah, I mean, this would have been a better result than what he got, but this would still definitely favor white, though. But the thing is, if I do that, I would probably have to retreat this one. So it's Sente for black. So I'm not really sure about this result. It's better than the one he. It's better than the one he eventually got. Or you could possibly just do this. That wouldn't. I don't know if that would work though. No, this wouldn't work. Yeah, it would actually. Yeah, that would work, but that may actually not be all that bad for black. But black, if black wants to finish this, he has to spend another move, and white wants to finish this, he has to spend another move, and white gets all the influence out here. So, this might actually be a okay. This actually might be an okay outcome for black, honestly. So if you really think about this, like, yes, you're sacrificing those stones, and that's big, but at the beginning of the game, like this influence that black actually gets on the outside may actually be worth it. Like white could want to kill that, but then black still has, like options to be alive. So it's not like the corner is not a clean kill for white. So neither side would actually play the corner right now. White would probably just try to approach here, or maybe just answer here. One of those two. And the influence for black might actually be worth it. You'd have to check on Kata, but that's also another conclusion that could possibly be acceptable. That's not really something you want to do. So here so the thing is like here you definitely want to just cover over top. White would extend, and white would actually extend some more probably to make sure that he's alive. You would have to connect. So that would actually be the result. And then I don't really know what white would do now, but that would kind of be the result. It doesn't really favor black. Yes, you get a lot of influence on the outside, but there's a significant amount of territory that white can actually achieve. And he has Sente, so he could just go somewhere like this to disrupt your influence. But that would kind of be the result. You definitely don't want me to come out because that ruins your entire shape. So Ayatari here. So here's the thing about this. You don't really need to connect this. Because, I mean, like, you connect this, like, I'm just going to take this anyways. Because these two are kind of dead, I don't think these two are actually worth all that much. I guess it's okay, but I honestly wouldn't connect this. I might just play out here or something. If white does that, you always have the option just to extend the corner. I mean, you're alive anyways. Like, since these two stones are dead, I don't know if that's really worth all that much. So, yeah, I don't know. I do this. That's okay. I should have done this first. But I'm going to do this. He does that. I'm going to jump. He does that. Tiger's mouth. Once I do this, you should probably still do this. Force me to come down. Getting this extension head up here is pretty important. So I'm going to invade here. This is just not a great idea. White didn't even really have to respond, but I kind of just wanted to get this in. I should have just probably played here. Yeah, I mean, you can do this and take away the stones, but there's still, and take away the territory, but there's still a lot of influential and potential for territory up here. So that's what I should have actually done. Or possibly just go down here, but I don't want black to actually flatten out this shape. Because like in flattening out the shape, black also increases his own moyo. I think like if I just did this, it would have been fine. I personally think that would have been perfectly fine. Because that this completely disrupts like what black's territory here. So I definitely misplayed this. So technically what I should have done is I should have just done this and called it a day. Or possibly done this and called it a day. Because I doubt he can actually escape out here. But this is actually... okay, so the only thing I can do is do this. I don't think this works. Because he has 4 out here. Yeah. So that doesn't actually work. So I did screw up here. I think this would have been fine. Actually, no. Maybe, yeah, I think this would have been fine. No, actually that wouldn't have been because he can come out this way. Huh. Okay, this is like one of those Go puzzles that's gonna like be tricky. Huh. What do I do with this? Oh no, I think this, yeah, I think this is okay. Because he can't go here, yeah. Because like he's actually 1 liberty short because he can't extend the corner. So the easiest solution is actually the right one. I just didn't read this right. That would have been perfectly fine. That's what I should have done. But I screwed that up. I was thinking of like going out this way, but I forgot that was like still like this is gonna be an Atari. Leave that alone. He's gonna do that. I'm gonna go here and then just go over top. So I think I should have just taken Sente here and just played here instead because so this was definitely a mistake. This is a lot more important. Reducing my moyo while making your own territory is much, much more important. The thing is, I can't do something like that because then you just kill the corner. But in this particular case, I might have chosen to let you kill the corner. Just to basically like improve my moyo. So this is definitely not a good move because it does solidify your territory down here, but it does actually let white build up his moyo a lot. That also wasn't the right move. I mean, you can just play here. I can't really do anything, right? You have too many connections coming. I feel like if you just play like, I can't really do something. I can't really do anything because there's still a cut. There's still a cutting point here. So I would be a little bit in trouble if you did this and then just like did this. There's not really that much. I can try to kill these two, but there's so many ways to connect up here that I don't think it would work out for me. And the thing is, you already have a lot of territory here, so all you have to do is restrain my territory in the middle. So having this peep move is actually pretty. Having this peep move is pretty clutch right now. I'm gonna do that. Go up top. This is really not that big. There's a couple points down here, but this is really not that big. 24.2. I don't really know. There is this, but I just don't think this is, I mean, it's not really worth it right now. Not exactly sure where the 20.4.2 is. Probably an invasion down here or something. I do this first. Do that. Just kill this. I did this not be. I actually played this. I played this not so much because of. I played this particular move not so much because of the points here. I played this because I wanted to make sure this was alive. These three are big because it solidifies this group. So here, what I should have done is I should have just kind of played here. It would force him to actually take this, and then I can just come over top. Now, what this does is like it saves all these stones, plus he doesn't really have a way to get into this territory anyways, and that would have solidified my win by a lot. That's actually where this plus 19.5 is actually coming from. It's not coming from this. This is a bad move. Like, it's actually coming from this move. It is actually coming from this move. If I did this, forced him to take the stones, and then just come over top, there's really not much he can do. And I get this territory plus like saving all these stones, and I'd be up by like 20 points. So that's a huge mistake by me. That's a big, big mistake by me. This was here all along. And I screwed it up by doing this. This is what I mean. Like even damn players will make really bad reads and eventually just throw the game. Even damn players like have bad reads and throw the game, right? So if you just work a little bit on reading, play solid moves that gain you territory, and wait for your opponent to lose the game, you eventually you can actually win up to at least mid Dan level. Around 4 or 5 Dan, they start throwing a lot less. So once you hit that level, you might actually have to learn some Tasujis or Sumgos or whatever. But up to that level, you don't really need it. You just need to learn you just need to get your thinking right on the macro game, and basically look at logic from higher level players to see which move is bigger. When your opponent starts falling behind. I'm actually not behind here, but I actually thought I was. But when your opponent actually starts falling behind, he will start making desperation gambles. And once he starts making desperation gambles, he's going to screw up. So learning how to just start getting advantages passively, not invading or anything, not invading or clamping or anything, but just learning how to make certain moves that are just bigger than your opponent's. You will force him to actually make really bad invasions. And sometimes, even if it's an even game, you just watch carefully and he'll throw the game sooner or later. It works until mid Dan level for the most part. That's a really bad move because I was I was too concentrated in trying to save these stones. I didn't have the view of the macro game. I really didn't have the view of the macro game saying okay, if I get this territory, which I already have, and I save these stones in the corner, I'm way ahead. So I didn't really have that macro view of the game, and I didn't count correctly. Because I actually got this, I'm actually way ahead that way. So I actually screwed this up a lot. And also, that was also a screw up. I should have just done this. Because Like, he can't actually break in here. I guess he can. He can just do this. He can still break in, but I guess saving those stones is worth more. Yeah, there's no way I can stop him from breaking in. This isn't really all that important. Because you always have an eye down here. You also have an eye here. So if he takes that, if he does this, you just do this. Then he can still break in. That's the thing. Like, you would roughly only get... I don't think this works. Yeah, like, he would break a lot of your territory, but I still think it might be worth those stones. I'm not 100% sure now, though. So yeah, I mean, I'm still ahead at this point. I just didn't realize it. Then I still thought I was behind, so I was like making these gambles. But generally, like, I should have just played more solid Go. I mean, I didn't play anything too bad because I knew the game was pretty close, but I didn't think I was actually ahead. So this invasion here is hard to actually counter. It's going to be very hard for me to kill those stones, so yeah, I think he might have actually played this right. I don't know about that particular move, but maybe just like that, or maybe just like, because you can't do this. This invasion's like very, very hard to counter for him. Maybe like that, even. Yeah, I can't do that, so. Yeah, there's basically no territory down there. This invasion's just very hard to handle, but it didn't come out well for him. Because essentially he just ended up with 2 eyes. So here you instantly take this. This is another point. This is actually another point where I just threw the game. Here you instantly take this. Yeah, I should have just connected here. Yeah. Those 2 aren't worth very much. So I connected, he does this, and then he does that. Even here, I should have just like let him have this. It's fine. But here you should have just taken this. I mean, yeah, you should have definitely just taken that. And fight this Ko with me. Because it's a very bad Ko for me, but not a bad... It's a bad Ko for me, but not a bad Ko for him. So getting too fancy here was bad. Then, of course, that kind of seals my win there. Because, like, this was... I think this was Sente for you. I don't think there's a way... I don't actually think there's a way I would kill this group. He doesn't have any eyes... I guess he doesn't have any eyes down there, so... This might actually make it hard, I suppose. Like, yeah, once I did this, I guess he couldn't. Once I did this, I guess he couldn't. And I would seal this group. But I feel like here, if you just take this, I might have issues. I mean, yeah, I guess it would be really tough to... Yeah, I guess he is dead, so I guess he did have to fix that down there. I wasn't really looking at that. So he did actually have to do that. I'm going to seal this off. And that's essentially the game. So I actually forgot that I didn't really see that this was actually dead here. I guess I was just concentrating too much on the middle territory. So once again, you actually have to look at the whole game a lot more. You have to look at the whole game a lot more rather than like just one part of the game. Like there's several instances, obviously in this game. There's several instances in this game where I got caught doing that. And that's really bad because I could have easily won by just getting this group of stones out here. He could have won by focusing on the macro game here, and I could have won, and I actually missed the macro game here. So like, you have to take a view of the entire board and like basically determine what do I need to win, rather than I'm going to kill all my opponent's stones, because you're not going to be able to do that. And if you fail in doing it, a lot of times you're giving up points. And a lot of times, like, if you actually look at the board in that way, you will actually realize that like sacrificing is very, very efficient in some cases. And that's basically how you learn all those things. So that's the game for today. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications button. If you want me to review some of your own games, I can do a live stream of me reviewing other people's games. It'll be a lot like what Colossus does. Basically, you can, I suppose you can just message me, or you can just message me on OGS if you want like a certain game reviewed. Because I know my reviews are very different from his reviews. Because my reviews tend to focus more on like more strategic concepts, and maybe a little bit higher level, closer to like, 5K to 1 Dan type of things. And I'm basically trying to get people to 1 Dan or 2 Dan, so I actually have more people to play against. Because in the upper Dan, like my other account is ranking up, and in the event that I get to like 3 or 4 Dan, I'm not gonna like. It's really hard to find a game sometimes in that range. I'm basically playing against high Q players because there's not an availability of Dans on OGS. I can play on Fox at any time. I can get to like 6. I can probably get like 6 Dan on OGS. But the thing is on Fox. But I want more people on OGS because OGS is better for teaching, and it's an English language client. Now I can speak Chinese, but I'm more comfortable with English. So yeah, that's the game. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. And if you want like a game of yours reviewed, I guess you can just always just message me on OGS. And if I get like a couple of those requests, I will probably just open up a review session, and I'll take user input as well. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.